Hi everyone, it's Soolin and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going through some tips and tricks, more like just habits and things that I do throughout the day to just keep myself productive, especially in college. It's currently that mid-semester slump season. Hopefully these tips and tricks help you guys as well. I'm probably the least qualified person to ask or even say anything about being productive, but as someone who understands the struggle of trying to stay productive throughout the day, these are the things that I do. Disclaimer, I don't follow all of these tips every single day, and on this particular Friday, especially for me because I don't have classes and there's less structure in my day to schedule things around, I definitely am not as productive on these days, but I think it shows you a better example of how I use these tips to at least be semi-productive on these days when I don't actually have to do anything. But anyway, sorry. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So my first tip slash habit is to wake up early. It actually has really helped me, and on the days that I don't wake up early, I'm definitely a lot less productive. Having that set time of like waking up before you necessarily need to do anything is a good way of starting your day so that you can implement a morning routine, have that time to yourself. I feel like the act of waking up early is just like an achievement in itself, and so you wake up and you already feel productive just by having woken up. I think you obviously can change that time frame of when you wake up and when you go to sleep, especially based on your work schedule or your school schedule as well. But anyway, my second tip is after I wake up early in the morning, my favorite thing to do is run. I think just doing something that actually wakes you up is what I'm trying to get at. That's personally how I've been getting myself to wake up in the morning. For you guys, that can look like anything, whether it's just showering or however you guys want to do it, but you want to make sure that once you wake up early in the morning, you're actually awake. The second tip slash habit that I do is make my bed. I think everyone should make their bed. It just basically, my whole point of this video is that to stay productive, the best thing you can do is have little things that you do throughout the day that are easy to knock off your to-do list, and that'll help your brain into thinking that I'm being productive. And you know that feeling of like, I'm being productive, I'm getting things done, I feel good. You want that to happen in your brain, and I think having these little things that you do throughout the day that are easy to do and get done, that's what's gonna get you to feel that way, to be able to do those longer to-do list things. And so for me, making my bed is one thing that I definitely have to do to be productive throughout the day. It also just makes me feel good because I don't like seeing a messy bed when I'm trying to be productive. In general, I used to be a very messy person, but I found that having a clean working space just helps me be more productive and help me get into that mindset of like, I'm gonna do this and get things done. But my third tip is to have a morning routine, which kind of connects to like everything with making my bed and running in the morning. But my morning routine, for me at least, it kind of starts after that, after I run and shower. And that time consists, at least for me now, it consists of doing things like making myself some morning tea. I like waking up, having that routine of just making tea. For me, my morning routine consists of obviously everything else, like making my bed, going through my skincare routine, but just like those things, those little routines, personally I feel like just help you get into that mindset of like, I'm gonna get things done, I'm gonna do things today. But also it's like things that make you feel good, things that are for yourself. So for me, that looks like making tea, watering my plants, or doing my devotionals. But for other people, that can just look like reading a book in the morning. Being able to have that time one, away from electronics. I think that can be really helpful, but also maybe things like meditating. I definitely recommend just having things like that in your morning routine that make you feel good, but that also feel like productive. Kind of part of my third tip of having a morning routine, which is just getting dressed. I mentioned this specifically apart from having a morning routine because especially during these COVID times where maybe you're working from home, maybe you're going to school from home. I'm personally joining my classes from my dorm. I like personally fashion, so it also just makes me feel good to wear something cute, something that I think is pretty, that I look good in. It makes me feel more confident, but also I feel like that process of getting dressed and getting yourself put together really just kickstarts your brain into being like, we're gonna do things today. And so getting dressed for me, even if it's going outside once, still makes me feel like I'm starting my day. Basically, it's like a battle against your brain to be like, I'm gonna start my day and I'm gonna do things. Now, my sixth tip is scheduling out your day. For me, I personally use Notion and Google Calendar. I'm also trying to get back into using my bullet journal just because it feels nice to have it on like paper and write things with pen. But I will say Google Calendar and Notion have been working amazingly for me. For Notion, I actually don't really use it as a to-do list kind of thing. I use my Google Calendar more for that. But on Notion, I have it all set up. I'm currently using Jana's Studies template for Notion, and I have all of the assignments I need to do for classes on there. Having that just really helps. And then on Google Calendar, I really like Google Calendar just because I get to actually schedule out every single like minute of my day if I wanted to. I do it mostly just by hours, by assignments, by to-do things. So waking up, going on a run, and then getting tested. I have it set so that it reminds me every 3 days, which is when we get tested. It helps you realize, one, just how much you need to do, but two, how full your day is actually. Especially on Fridays when I don't actually have as much to do, when I don't have classes. It really helps to add things to my calendar, see how much time I have that I can set aside to something else, like working on my Etsy, working on my YouTube, things that aren't as like, I have to do this, especially because for me, school right now is obviously a priority. But yeah, for me, just scheduling out your day just really helps. But that also leads me to my next point. I kind of mentioned before how I don't actually have that many reasons to go out. I also don't have that much time to go out, but it is good to go out, get some fresh air, and just get out of your room or your house for a little bit throughout the day. Guys, it's snowing. I don't know if my camera can be out like this. Oh my god, I can feel the snow. I'm like freaking out right now. It's snowing. Just, you know, go outside. It's just good for you. Set aside some time to get away from all that work, take a little break, and go on a walk. But my next tip is just to make the most of everything that you do. I think being productive obviously is a very big just like mindset game, especially for things like work and school where you might not necessarily want to do it, but obviously you have to do it. But at least for me, especially being in college, it's been good to get myself into that mindset of like, this is a privilege. Like, I'm learning something that I do want to learn. I just have to get my mind to realize that. It's easy to lose track of like why you're doing the things that you're doing, so it helps to make the most of everything you do. Like for me, I love working on my Etsy sometimes, but I also hate working on my Etsy sometimes. It can be very stressful, it can just be a lot of work, and especially when I'm busy with school, it can just add to all the things that I have to do. But getting myself to like remember that I'm doing this because I love it, because I just love designing things and I love having this like creative outlet to just kind of de-stress. Obviously isn't easy, but having a good attitude when you go into these to-do list things that you have can completely change how you go about your day. Okay, now my next tip. I've lost track of the numbers. I'll put it up somewhere here. as I go through this. But my next tip is also just making time for friends and socializing and doing stuff with other people. For me, on this particular day, I was able to hang out with one of my friends from CASA, which is the Korean American Student Association. But we got to spend time together because it was snowing and I really wanted to, you know, have my first snow day with someone else. And so we met at a cafe and then we took pictures together because it was snowing and we just had a good time.
Oh my god.
Do you want to put in my bag?
Oh, no, it's totally fine.
I can't believe you just left it out here.
I just didn't want to go back out. I didn't think about it. The trees are so pretty.
I know. Oh my god, it looks just like this is, I've only seen this in pictures.
But then because it was like 8 minutes before COVID, they had like
This is so cool. Whoa. So pretty. I'm honestly like having the time of my life right now. I hope it snows every day.
This is like a historical moment for you.
Honestly.
I'm so glad to witness it.
It'll just help with your mental health because obviously life isn't just all about work and school, thank God. You do have to take care of yourself, take care of your health, both physical and mental. Mental health is very important, which actually leads me to my next tip. Make time for yourself too. After hanging out with my friend, I actually just kind of walked around the Fenway Park by myself and spent time alone. I think it's really important, especially as an extroverted introvert. It can just be really draining to be with people, and having that time to myself really energizes me, and it was just really peaceful to do that. And so whether that looks like going on a walk, reading a book, staying in bed, watching a movie, whatever that is, having time to yourself, letting yourself chill for a little bit, and doing something that really rejuvenates you and, you know, makes you feel good, I think is really important. After that is just having routines in general. I think this is a very general tip, overarching tip, I guess you could call it, is to have routines. Obviously throughout the day, like I mentioned, having a schedule, having specific things that you do is really helpful to just keep track of like what you need to do and when you need to do it. But in general, to stay productive, you need routines, which is why I mentioned having a morning routine to even just start your day and to get your body to realize, your brain to realize that your day is starting and that you're gonna get things done. But also to have a night routine to end your day, to unwind, I think is the best word for it. And getting sleep. It's really important. I mentioned how I like waking up early in the morning, but to go along with that, that also means going to sleep earlier because you really need sleep. It's really important to get sleep for your mental health, for your physical health, but getting 8 hours of sleep is really freaking important, and it'll set you up for the rest of the day so that you have enough energy to do stuff and be productive. And that was actually my last tip. I kind of connected it to the tip before that of having a night routine. But it's just really important to have routines, to have habits. I think that's one of the biggest things. Having habits has just helped me get through this semester. That's it for this video. That's all of my tips, tricks, habits, whatever you want to call it, that I've been personally using to be productive throughout high school. Throughout college. Obviously it's not a perfect way of staying productive because I definitely don't stay productive 24/7, but it's my way of staying productive, and I hope that this helped you guys and that you also just enjoy this vlog. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and like for future content. And also I want to thank you guys so much. I know it's like a week late because I didn't upload last Sunday, but we did reach 1,000 subscribers. Oh my god, this is so insane. I can't thank you guys enough. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.